I want to first define what spiritual practice means. And for Hilsion, spiritual practice is anything that involves aligning ourselves with spirit, with our higher nature, with our soul, with the divine. Now, this can include anything. You can ride your bike and align with the Tao. You can garden and align yourself and become one with what you're doing. But it excludes things that you might traditionally think of as a spiritual practice in the sense that the intent is different. For example, the way most people practice yoga today, I believe, is not a spiritual practice. If you are doing a practice or a movement, exercise, or anything to relax, to de-stress, to calm yourself down, this is different than aligning yourself with spirit, if you notice. And there's nothing wrong with it, is what I want to say first. If you are relaxing, if you are doing something to improve your health, balance your life out, de-stress, have an outlet, great. However, I wouldn't call that a spiritual practice. I would call that a relaxation practice. So even the breathing that a lot of psychotherapists teach, abdomen breathing, watch the breath, these sort of techniques are helpful in regulating our state, but they are not spiritual practices. So for example, you might think of that as a spiritual practice, and I would not define it as though. And you would not maybe think of tarot as a spiritual practice. Oh, I got the lovers. So in choosing a card from the unconscious and aligning ourselves with that card, okay, now the archetype of the lovers is present in my reality, and I will be aligned with that. That is a spiritual practice. So you see, it can take many forms. Now, finding your spiritual practice is the next step, and the easy answer is follow your intuition, allow it to come to you, don't worry about it. If your intuition is more of the mental type, you like seeing patterns, you like organizing information, then I would start with what is your religious framework that you're operating in. And we all have one. We all have deep underpinning philosophical or religious beliefs. That's simply a human necessity to navigate the world. So whether we consciously are having those beliefs or just running on the unconscious programming, say, of Western society, is very much founded in Christian philosophy and beliefs, that's the framework you're working in. So looking within that tradition for spiritual practices that align with the divine, whether that's singing, prayer, in those contexts. And for Buddhism, we'll say, if that's your framework, there isn't really a lot of talk of spirit. There is a talk of mind. So the mind-body connection in Buddhist context would be a spiritual practice. But that's because they have the whole framework as this mind and everything being mind. So mind is basically their word for spirit. So start within the framework you're in. I wouldn't go shopping for spiritual practices. I did that. And it's okay. You want to try various things. Everything's great. Everything looks fun. I wanted to try Kriya Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Qigong, shamanism. I just was into all of it. And finding what resonates and sticks, pick up a practice, then put it down is what I would suggest if you're really into various things and you really want to get out there and experiment. But if you want to go with tried and true methods, just really reflect on what your framework is and see what practices are within it. There's always an established path from our ancestors and lineage of people that have gone the way of the mystic, of merging with the divine before. And that's is a very solid and respectable starting point to find your unique spiritual practice and how that will unfold. Hope this video was helpful. Please let me know what your sort of path was and how you started out and found your practice in the comments below. And I'd love to have a dialogue with you.